It's the kind of voice that makes you stop scrolling. That one note, that one breathtaking high, and suddenly, you're frozen. It's not a concert, it's not a debut stage, it's just her. One mic, one spotlight, and a voice that could cut through silence itself. And now, that very performance, BABYMONSTER's Haram's cover of Pick Up Your Feelings, is on the verge of hitting 20 million views. How did a pre-debut performance, released over a year ago, suddenly become that video everyone's talking about again? Why are fans calling it one of the most iconic K-pop trainee performances of all time? Today, we're diving into the rise, the magic, and the emotion behind a moment that reshaped how we see vocal power in the fifth generation. So, grab your light sticks, turn up your volume, and let's rewind to where it all began, the moment Rami picked up her mic and changed everything. It was April 16th, 2023, when YG Entertainment's official YouTube channel uploaded a simple video titled Haram, Pick Up Your Feelings, Clean Ver, under the newly introduced group name BABYMONSTER. At that time, the world barely knew these 7 girls, just glimpses from YG's mysterious teasers and trainee evaluations. Fans were curious but cautious. Could YG really create another monster rookie after Blackpink? Then came this performance. No flashy effects, no backup dancers, no dramatic props. Just Rami, in a dark, moody studio surrounded by blue lights, taking on Jasmine Sullivan's Grammy-winning R&B anthem. And from the very first note, it was game over. People didn't need subtitles. They didn't even need to understand English lyrics. Her voice spoke for her. Smooth, rich, emotional, yet with the control of a seasoned artist. Within hours, Stan Twitter exploded. Clips of her belting that iconic "You Gon' Miss Me" flooded TikTok and YouTube Shorts. Hashtags like Haram Vocals, hashtag Rami Main Vocal Supremacy, and hashtag BABYMONSTER Vocals started trending globally. That's when everyone knew Rami wasn't just another trainee. She was a vocal monster in the making. Born in 2007, Shin Haram, affectionately called Rami by fans, had already been in the industry's orbit long before BABYMONSTER's debut. She was a child model, an artist in training, and a name whispered around YG circles as that girl who could outsing anyone in her age group. But what makes Rami different isn't just technique. It's the way she feels her music. Every phrase she sings carries weight, a kind of emotional honesty that's rare even among idols with years of experience. She's not performing to impress, she's performing to connect. That's why Pick Up Your Feelings felt so personal. Fans said it sounded less like a cover and more like a confession, a story only Rami could tell through melody. And when you realize she was only 15 years old during that recording, it becomes even more unreal. Pick Up Your Feelings isn't an easy song, not even close. It's a vocal roller coaster with intricate runs, rapid phrasing, and deep soul inflections that demand precision and emotion. Most K-pop trainees wouldn't dare touch it. But Rami didn't just sing it, she owned it. From the controlled whispers to the explosive high notes, every second showcased her artistry. Fans commented things like, "She didn't cover the song, she claimed it." This is what happens when raw talent meets YG training. Even vocal coaches and reaction channels were in awe. They paused mid-video, shook their heads, and said, "This girl is dangerous." Her tone was often compared to a mix of R&B icons like Ariana Grande and Jasmine Sullivan, but with that unique Korean finesse, clean diction, crystal phrasing, and perfect mic technique. It wasn't just about talent, it was about identity. Through this performance, Rami introduced herself not as a backup singer, not as a trainee, but as a main vocal built for the world stage. The video spread fast. By the end of the week, the view count skyrocketed to over 5 million, with thousands of fan edits and slow-motion cuts flooding every corner of social media. People were making TikToks captioned, "When Haram hit that note," with dramatic zooms and crying filters. Some used her vocals as background soundtracks for emotional edits, everything from anime scenes to cinematic montages. It wasn't just a K-pop moment anymore. It became internet culture. What's wild is how organic the growth was. There were no major promotions, no algorithmic pushes, just fans sharing, reposting, and screaming, "You need to hear this." That's the power of authenticity in music. And even now, over a year later, that same video is still climbing, currently sitting at nearly 20 million views, with 333,000 likes and thousands of comments that read like love letters. Comments like, "I come back to this every few months just to remind myself what real vocals sound like. Rami's tone is healing. This isn't a cover, it's therapy." Since that day, the "Pick Up Your Feelings" cover has become part of BABYMONSTER's identity. It's no longer just Rami's solo moment, it's the group's origin story. Ask any BABYMONSTER stan what made them fall in love with the group, and at least half will say it was Rami's cover. It became the rite of passage. If you're joining the fandom, you have to watch that video first. It's like the unspoken rule. And when BABYMONSTER finally debuted, people weren't surprised that Rami took the main vocal spot. They expected it. They demanded it. Because that 4-minute clip had already proven she was born to lead vocally. Now, in 2025, the K-pop scene is overflowing with talented rookies. Every new group has insane visuals, crazy choreography, and hit songs that trend for weeks. But how many performances actually stay in people's hearts? How many make fans stop and feel something real? That's what Rami's "Pick Up Your Feelings" did. It wasn't just skill, it was emotion, vulnerability, and control all rolled into one. It reminded fans of the era when vocals were front and center, when idols didn't just perform songs, they told stories with their voices. And even as BABYMONSTER's career skyrockets, from Batter Up to Sheesh to Forever, that cover remains their emotional anchor. It's a reminder of where they came from and how far they've grown. It's Rami's legacy in the making. When the video recently started trending again, fans went feral. On X, formerly Twitter, the hashtags Haram Vocal Queen and hashtag Rami 20 Million Party began circulating. Fans made threads celebrating her growth, comparing her debut vocals to her current live performances, showing how she's evolved without losing that raw, soulful tone. International fans wrote things like, "You can hear pain, strength, and youth in her voice all at once. She's the kind of vocalist who makes you proud to stand her." Korean netizens, usually tough critics, were equally impressed, praising her pronunciation, emotion, and restraint. Many called her one of the few real vocalists among fifth-gen idols. Even casual listeners, people who didn't follow BABYMONSTER, found themselves captivated. Some commented, "I don't know much about K-pop, but this voice? Unreal." That's when you know you've transcended fandom. You've reached the general public. Let's be honest, YG Entertainment knew exactly what they were doing. Instead of debuting BABYMONSTER with flashy teasers and overproduced music videos, they introduced them one by one, raw, unfiltered, real talent on display. Each member had a moment, but Rami's cover became the standout. It gave the group credibility before they even stepped on a stage. It said, "These girls aren't just visuals, they can sing." And that's rare in an era where so much depends on virality and performance gimmicks. YG didn't have to say a word. They let Rami's voice do the talking. Now, as the video inches towards 20 million views, it's not just a number, it's a statement. It's proof that pure talent still wins, that even without heavy marketing, fans can recognize authenticity when they see and hear it. For BABYMONSTER stans, this milestone feels like a full-circle moment, from trainee days to global stardom, with one unforgettable performance leading the way. And for Rami herself, it's validation that the world heard her, believed in her, and continues to come back for more. It's not just nostalgia, it's respect. So what's next for Rami? Fans are already dreaming of her solo debut, her OSTs, or maybe even a special performance stage at a year-end award show. Some hope YG releases a studio version of Pick Up Your Feelings, Ramiver, because, let's be real, it would chart instantly. And if there's one thing we've learned from that video, it's that Rami doesn't chase trends. She sets them. Her artistry feels timeless, a blend of old-school soul and Gen Z emotion. She's got the voice, the poise, and the quiet confidence that screams longevity. Whether she's performing on massive stages or singing behind a mic in a dimly lit studio, one thing is for sure: when Rami sings, people listen. And that brings us to today. Nearly 20 million views, countless fan reactions, and a performance that refuses to fade away. A single cover that turned a trainee into a legend. A moment that reminded everyone what true artistry sounds like. So here's the question: what's your favorite moment from Rami?